What if I told you there's a tree that refuses to grow? For 5 entire years. Not 5 weeks, not 5 months, 5 years. Imagine waking up every single morning, watering the same patch of soil, adding fertilizer, pulling out weeds and protecting it from the harsh weather, only to see absolutely nothing. No tiny leaf, no green sprout, no proof that your hard work is paying off. Would you keep going? Or would you quit? Most people would give up before the first year ended. But one farmer didn't. And what happened next became one of the greatest lessons about success, patience, and perseverance ever told. Many years ago, in a peaceful village in China, there lived a hard-working farmer. One spring morning, he planted a single Chinese bamboo seed in a small corner of his field. He gently covered it with soil, watered it, and walked away believing that one day it would become a magnificent bamboo tree. The next morning, he returned with another bucket of water. Nothing. A week later, nothing. A month later, still nothing. Yet every day, without fail, he continued watering the same patch of land. Soon, the villagers began to notice. One of them laughed and asked, "Why do you keep watering empty soil?" Another said, "Maybe the seed was bad." Others shook their heads and whispered, "He's wasting his time." But the farmer never argued. He simply smiled and continued his routine. Months passed, then an entire year. Still, there wasn't even the smallest green shoot. Most people would have accepted defeat, but the farmer believed that not all growth could be seen with the eyes. So he kept watering. He kept fertilizing. He kept waiting. The second year arrived. Once again, every single day he cared for the soil. Still nothing. The neighbors laughed even louder. 2 years! Haven't you learned your lesson? But the farmer ignored the criticism. He trusted the process. The third year came. Nothing. The fourth year. Still nothing. Imagine spending 4 years doing the same work every day without seeing a single result. No reward, no progress, no evidence that anything was happening. Most people would have quit long ago. But the farmer refused to give up. Because deep inside, he believed something important. Just because you can't see progress doesn't mean progress isn't happening. Then, early in the 5th year, something incredible happened. One morning, the farmer walked to his field carrying his bucket of water. As the sunlight touched the soil, he stopped. There it was. A tiny green shoot had finally emerged from the ground. It was small, so small that anyone else might have overlooked it. The neighbors laughed again. 5 years? For that? But the farmer simply smiled. He knew the real miracle was only beginning. Day after day, the tiny shoot grew taller, then taller still. Within just a few weeks, the bamboo shot upward at an astonishing speed. It grew nearly 80 feet, about 24 meters, in only 6 weeks. The entire village gathered in disbelief. The same people who had mocked the farmer now stood beneath the towering bamboo, unable to understand what they were seeing. "How did it grow so fast?" they asked. The farmer smiled and replied, "It didn't grow in 6 weeks. It grew over 5 years." For those 5 years, while everyone believed nothing was happening, the bamboo had been doing its most important work. Underground. Its roots were spreading deeper and wider every single day. They were building a foundation strong enough to support a tree that would soon reach incredible heights. If the bamboo had grown tall before its roots were ready, it would have collapsed under its own weight. Its invisible growth was what made its visible success possible. Our lives are often just like the Chinese bamboo tree. You study for months, but don't see better grades. You work hard at your job, but don't get promoted. You start a business, but no customers come. You create videos, post consistently, and barely get any views. It feels like nothing is happening. People may doubt you. Some may even laugh at your dreams. You may begin to question yourself. But just because your progress isn't visible doesn't mean you're failing. Every challenge teaches you something. Every failure makes you stronger. Every day of discipline builds your foundation. Like the bamboo, your roots are growing beneath the surface. And one day, when your moment finally arrives, people will only notice your success. They won't see the years of patience, the sacrifices, the failures, or the quiet work that made it possible. Remember this: the strongest trees grow the deepest roots. So don't quit because you can't see results today. Keep learning, keep improving, keep believing. Because your breakthrough may be much closer than you think. And when you finally rise, the world will call it an overnight success. But you'll know it took years to grow.